Shenzhou-14 in northwestern China. A press conference held by China's Space Authority is about to happen very soon, introducing the details of the upcoming Shenzhou-14 mission. This is China's third manned space mission in less than a year's time. And main goal, of course, as we just heard from our reporter and also Professor Yang Yuguang, is to accelerate the construction or the completion of the construction of China's own space station.
上午好。
Ladies and gentlemen, friends from
随着
the
船
media,
电
good
组合
morning.
体转运至发射场区，
With
备受
the
关注的
complex
神舟14
ready
号
at
载
the
人飞
launching
行任务
pad,
已经进入
the
发射前的关键
Shenzhou-14
阶段。
manned mission right now coming to the
昨天
final
下午
preparation stage.
空间站
Yesterday
阶段飞行
afternoon,
任务总指挥部
the
召开
headquarter
会
of the
议
staged mission
研究
had
确
a
定了
conference,
神舟14
and
号
in this
飞船
conference,
发射计划
it has decided
航
the
天员
plan
飞行程
and
度。
also the
今
astronauts
天我
crew
们邀
of
请到
Shenzhou-14
中国
mission.
载人航天工程
Today we
私人
have
发言人
invited
中国载人航天工
the
程办公室
spokesperson
主任
of China
林锡
Manned
强
Space
先生
Station and also
给大家
the
介绍情
Deputy
况
Director,
并回
Mr.
答
Lin
各
Xiqiang,
位
to
感
give
兴
you
趣的
more
问题。
information and also answer some of your
首先
questions.
请林锡强副主任
First, I
介绍
invite
任务的
Mr. Lin
情况
Xiqiang to give you the details of the mission.
各位媒体记者朋友们，大家上午好。
Friends from the media,
受
good
任
morning.
务总指挥部
Entrusted
由我
by
向
the
大家
mission
介绍
headquarters,
神舟14
now
号
I will
载人
give
飞行
you
任务有关情况。
the information regarding the
经总指挥
Shenzhou-14
部
crewed
研究决
mission.
定，瞄准
According to the
北京
decision
时
made
间
by the
6
headquarter,
月5日上午10时44分，
10:45 a.m. on June 5th, we will launch
飞行乘组
Shenzhou-14,
由航天
and the
员
crew
陈东
is composed
刘洋
of astronauts
和蔡旭哲
Chen
组
Dong,
成
Liu Yang, and Cai Xuzhe,
陈东担任指令长，
with
他
Chen
们
Dong as the
全部为
commander.
我国第二批航天
They
员。
are all from the
其中
second batch of
陈东
Chinese
参加过
astronauts.
神舟11号
Chen Dong
载人
carried
飞行
out
任务
Shenzhou-11
刘
mission,
洋参加
and
过
astronauts
神
Liu
舟
Yang
9
carried
号
out Shenzhou-9
载人飞行
crewed
任务
mission.
蔡旭哲是
And
首
this
次
is
飞
the
行
maiden flight for
目前
astronauts Cai
执
Xuzhe.
行本次飞行任务的长征2号 F
Currently,
遥
the
14
Long March
火箭
2I
即将开始
Y14
推进剂加注。
will very soon be
神
filled
舟
with
14号
propellant.
载人飞行任务
The
是空间站
Shenzhou-14
建造阶
crewed
段
mission
第二次飞行任
is
务，
the second
也
crewed
是该阶
mission.
段首次
It's the
载人
second
飞行任
mission
务
at the
航天
stage
员乘组
phase
将
2
在
of
轨
this
工作
construction
生
stage,
活6个
and
月，
also the second crewed
任务
mission.
的主要目
And
的
for the
为
astronauts, they will
配
station
合
in
梦天实
space
验
for
舱
6 months,
梦天
and
实
they
验
will
舱
receive
与
the
核心
Wentian
舱
and
的
Mengtian
交会对接
lab
和转位
modules, and they will also help
完成
to dock
中国空间
and
站
rendezvous these
在
two
轨组
modules,
装建造
and also to help to
完
complete the
成空
construction
间站
of these
舱内
three
外设备
modules,
及空
and
间
they will
应用
also
任
help
务
to
相关
support
设施
and
设备的
maintain
安
the
装和调试，
supporting equipment,
开展空间科学实
and they
验，
will also carry out
技术
in
实验
orbit
进
experiments,
行日常维护维修
and
等
also they will
相
carry
关工
out
作。
the daily maintenance work as
按
well.
计划，神舟
Based
14号
on the
载人
schedule,
飞船入轨后，
After the
将采用
Shenzhou-14
自主
into
快速
the
交会对接
preset
模式，
orbit,
对
it
接
will
于
be
天河
carry
核
out
心
the
舱
automatic
镜像端口
rendezvous and docking
与
in the
天河核心
radio
舱
port with
及
Tianhe
天
core
舟
module,
3号
and
天
they
舟
will
4号
become
托运飞
a
船
assembly
协同组合体
with Tianhe core
在轨
module
驻留
and
期间
Tianzhou 4
神舟
cargo
14
ship.
号乘组3名航天员
During their stay in
将
orbit,
迎来空间
Shenzhou-14
站
crew
2个
mission
试验舱
will receive
以及
2 live
天舟5号
modules,
货运飞船、
as well as
神舟
Tianzhou
15
5
号载人飞船
cargo
来访
ship,
对接
as well as
并
Shenzhou-15,
与神舟15号
aircraft
飞行乘组进行
and they will
载
also
轨
have
更换
in-orbit
于12
handover
月
work
返
with
回
crew
东风
from
着陆场
Shenzhou-15 and then
目
back
前
to Dongfeng
天河
landing
核心
site.
舱与天舟
Right
3
now,
号、
Tianzhou
天舟4号组合体
3,
状态
Tianzhou 4,
和
and the Tianhe core
各项
module
设备
are operating
工作正常
normally and
具
all
备
functioning
交会
well
对接
and is
和
ready
航
for
天
rendezvous
员
and
进
docking,
入条件。
as well as receiving the
神舟14
accommodation
号载
of
人飞船
Shenzhou-14 crew
长征
members.
2号 F 遥14
Long March 2I
运载火箭
Y14
产品质量受控，航
all
天员
passed
飞行乘组
assessment, and
状
the
态
a
良好
crew right now is also in good shape. The ground systems, all the facilities, equipment are all ready for the launch mission. Right now, all the preparations are underway, and this is the basic information about the upcoming Shenzhou-14 mission. And now I'm ready to answer your questions.
提问前请通报所在新闻机构。
Please identify yourself before raising questions.
主持人您好，我是新华社记者。
With Xinhua News Agency, my question regarding Shenzhou-13 crew members. Shenzhou-13 back to the ground for 2 months, and this is the first mission in orbit for 6 months, and we're really keen to know about their physical conditions. Would you please talk more about Shenzhou-13 crew? Thank you for your care
空间站阶段
to the
航天
Shenzhou-13
员出
crew.
走返回后的恢复工作，主要是围绕
So the recovery
心理调试、
after their return,
营养保障、
and including
及时恢复
physical
等4个
and
方面
mental as well as
从隔离恢
nutrition,
复、疗养恢复
the
和
recovery,
恢复观察
so
等
that will
3个阶段
including
开展。
the rehabilitation, recovery,
神舟13
and
号
quarantine,
任务
these 3
乘组航天员
stages.
翟志刚、王亚平、
Astronauts Zhai
叶光富
Zhigang,
3人
Wang Yaping, and 叶光富 returned to Beijing
5月
this
15
year.
日
As
神
of
舟13号乘
May
组
15,
按计划
Shenzhou-13
顺利
crew
完成了第一阶段
had finished their
隔离
stage
恢复
1
工作。
of quarantine
在
work.
这个阶段，借助
During
协
this
同功能
stage,
与核心功能
based
锻炼，
on the trainings
中医
on
调
ground
理
in
等
water as
综
well
合
as
康复措
the
施，
TCM
3名航天员
method,
企业指标
the 3
潜艇平衡功
astronauts
能
right now
及力位耐力、心肺功能等指标已经恢复
reaching
飞
the
行前的水平。
pre-mission
目前
condition in terms
3名
of
航
their
天员
endurance and
正按计划实施第
cardiovascular
二阶段
reserves.
为
Right now,
期
the, coming
1个
to
月
the
的
a
疗
second
养
stage, that will be last about 1
重点
month.
针对
That's for
航
the
天员
recovery
肌肉和骨骼
stage.
恢复
So
情况
basically, that
实
will
施
help them to
个体
build
化
up
的康复
their
计划。
muscles, and they will
总的
receive
看
their custom-made
神舟
plan
13号
for
3名
recovery.
航天员
So far,
身心状态
these
良好
3
各
astronauts
项
in
生理
good
心理
health
指标
condition,
恢复。
including the a
本次
normal
神舟13号乘组
physical
恢
and
复工
mental
作是针对
parameters.
我国航天员首
Let's
次
meet our
6个月在
expectations,
轨飞行后
and
开展。
also this is the work carried
借鉴
out for
了神舟
astronauts
12号
after
乘
they're
组的
staying
相关经验，
in orbit
同时
for 6
也
months.
将
We
为
also
未
learned
来
the
常态化的
experience from the
任务飞
previous
行乘组的后
mission,
续工作
and
奠
we
定坚实
believe
的
that
基
it
础
will also lay solid foundation for the following crew mission returning home.
请第二排这位记者。
好，谢谢主持人。发言人你好
Thank
我
you.
是中央广播电视总
With
台央视记者。
CMG
我的问题是
CCTV.
神舟14号航天员在
My
轨任
question
务期间呢
is,
将会
during
迎来
the
梦
orbital
天
stay
和
of
实验舱
Shenzhou-14, and they will
那么
receive
刚才
2
您介绍
lab
完之后，我们
modules,
也知道
which
这
is
也是中国
Mengtian
航
and
天员第一
Wentian.
次在
And
轨
we
迎
know
接
that this is the
舱
very
的
first
到访
time
空
for
间站
astronauts to
那不知道在
receive
这一次的
the
任务当中，我们的航
upcoming
天员
modules.
做了哪些准备？
I would like to know what
是
kind
他
of
们更多的挑战
preparation they have
这次有
done
没有做一
to
些针对的训
these
练？谢谢。
upcoming missions. Any special designed preparation for this
谢
purpose?
谢你的提问。
Thank you for your
神舟
question.
14号飞行任务
Shenzhou-14
是我
crewed
国空间
mission
站建造阶段第一次
is the
载人
very
飞行任务
first time of
在任务
crewed
期间
mission during the
将全
construction
面完
phase
成以
of
天河核心
China's
舱、
space
问
station.
天实验舱
So
和
2 lab
问天实验舱
modules,
为
Wentian
基
and
本构型
Mengtian,
的天宫空间站
as
建
well
造
as Tianhe
建成
core
国
module
家太空
will
实验室
formed in
具体地讲
assembly, and
神舟14号飞行乘组
to be
将和地面
specific,
配合
Shenzhou-14 will
完
cooperate
成
with the
2
ground
个实验
team
舱
to
核
complete
心舱
2
的
lab
交会位阶
modules
和转位，
to dock
将首
and
次
rendezvous with
进
the
驻
core
问
module
天
and
实验
also
舱
to make
和
in
问天实
orbit
验舱
shift reposition, and they will
载人
also
环境
enter to the lab modules
配合
to
地面
build
开
the
展2舱组合
environmental
3
friendly
舱组合
working
大小机
environment,
械臂
and
气
also
闸
they
舱
will
出
also
舱
use the
等相
arm
关功能的测试，
robotic arms as well as the
将
airlock
首次利
cabin,
用位于问天实
and
验
they
舱
will
的气闸
also
舱
to use
实施
the
2到3次
airlock
舱活动
cabin at the Wentian lab modules to conduct extravehicular
它
activities.
将完成问天实验舱
This is different
和
from
问
the
天实验
previous
舱
mission,
10余个科学实验
and
机
they
会
will
的
also
解锁
carry
安
out
装
the unlock and install of the experiment cabin in the lab modules, and they will also carry out a science publication work as well. And their health condition will also be monitored, and they will also carry out training in orbit, as well as conduct a large number of daily maintenance and also to the daily management as well.
In orbit, the crew member will be facing a lot of challenges and tasks that will be very complicated. And during this period of time, they will be witnessing 9 different models of the positioning and the complexing. They will be manipulating the robotic arms. They will also carry out extravehicular activities from the other cabins. There will be 5 rendezvous and docking, 3 times of separation and evacuation, as well as 2 tasks of the repositioning. All those tasks and missions are interconnected, and that is a huge amount for our team members in a crew. After accomplishing all the disciplines in general, our crew members have also joined other specific training lessons and drills. First of all, for the Wentian and Mengtian lab modules, for the setting up of all the parameters as well as the setting of the living environment, our team members have already gained the skills. Second, for the smaller size of robotic arms, our team members have known how to manipulate them. They also know how to do a remote controlling of those parts of the equipment. And third, for the 3 modules, we have an increasing number of the experiments number. We have also 30 more activities of training related to the platform of scientific experiments. So our team members, they are capable of carrying out all kinds of experiments as required. They have also communicated with the previous crew members from the Shenzhou-14 and Shenzhou-13. On this basis, we will also continue to improve the guarantee measures to ensure a safe stay and efficient work in orbit for our team member for this current mission. Next question, please. Thank you. With CMG, during the verification stage, the robotic arm constitutes a very important part. This time, we will start to use a smaller size of the robotic arm. What is so special with the smaller robotic arm, and what's its function? Thank you very much. As is mentioned in your question, robotic arm is a very famous and also an important part of the construction of the space station. This time, we have equipped the whole complex with a smaller size of robotic arm. Compared to the larger size of robotic arm, the smaller one has the following characteristics. First of all, it's more flexible. The smaller one, for its length and also the weight, it's half the level of the larger one. And it has a 1/8 of the capacity of the loading. It's more flexible in motion and in manipulation. Second, it's more precise. By the terminal of this smaller size of robotic arm, it's more precise in the positioning. The precision can be 5 times the level compared to the larger size of the robotic arm. So usually for more delicate missions, we can use the smaller size of the robotic arm. And third, we can realize a combination of the smaller and larger size of the robotic arm. When we put the 2 together, we can form a combo of the robotic arms. For example, in the larger scale of the movement, we can use the larger size of the robotic arm. When we have to go into details, we can use the smaller one. And for the structure, the smaller robotic arm is quite similar to the larger size of the robotic arm, and it can also realize an automated crawling in the extravehicular activities. It can help us to carry out the outside check-in missions. With a smaller robotic arm, we can bring into full play its advantages of flexibility and precision. It can help us to carry out missions with the checks, installations of extravehicular equipment. For the smaller robotic arm, when it's in combo with the larger robotic arm, we can form the synergy between the two sides. And finally, we can realize a large scale of operation to better assist the work of our team members in the crew. And we can also use the smaller robotic arm to collaborate with the installation of an external platform outside the airlock cabin. We can also use the smaller robotic arm to assist the work of the larger robotic arm. In total, with the smaller robotic arm, we can increase the reliability of the robotic arm system. For the larger and smaller sized robotic arms, they have their own features and functions. When they put together, we can realize a bigger synergy and finally suits the demands of our mission. Next question, please. Thank you. I'm with the Central Discipline Commission. After the completion of this mission, we will also send the Wentian and Mengtian lab modules, which can give us greater room for the future space operation. What is the future plan for the scientific experiments, and what are the expected results? Thank you very much for this question. As the space labs, in the space station, we can enable 25 scientific experiment cabins. In each cabin, it's like one smaller size of scientific labs. We can do the experiments for one single discipline or interdisciplinary experiments. In total, we can satisfy the requirements for the work of the scientific side. For example, the researchers for the science of life. We can also equip this module with the labs to study the microgravity environmental studies and also the growth of the plants in this microgravity environment. And in an enclosed environment, we can also study the growth of the life. And with the visible light, as well as the other imaging technology, we can support the molecular, circular, and also the tissue development, as well as the experiments. At the same time, we can also do the experiments with different level of the gravity from 0.01 to 2G. We are also carrying out microgravity-related studies in the combustion science, fundamental physical studies. We have interdisciplinary and multiple disciplinary cabins for the scientific experiments. We study the basic process of the combustion, and we also do some cutting-edge studies, for example, related to the atoms. At the same time, we will also do the experiments never carried out in the past. Those are unprecedented experiments. We also do some gravitational experiments. Outside the experiment module, we also do the exposed experiments. For the components, we will try whether they can be collaborating one with another in the extravehicular environment. We will also establish and launch the Chinese space station telescope that is called Xuntian, that will be co-orbiting with our space station. During the construction phase of the space station, in total we have arranged more than 100 projects of experiments of science and technology. And in the future, we can expect to see a greater number of experiments. We will also study the dark matter and dark energy, and also the formation of the galaxies, the nature and essence of the life phenomenon, as well as some other important subjects, such as the sustainable development of the planet Earth. All those scientific experiments will set a solid foundation for the future missions.
Due to the interest of time, last question, please.
第一排这位。
谢谢主持人。 你好，解放军新闻
Thank you. With the PLA Daily. We know COVID-19 is revisiting and imposing the challenges to our work, but we're very glad to see that all the work of the mission is carrying out in an orderly manner. Would you please talk about how you overcome the difficulties brought by COVID-19 to carry out all these precise plans? Thank you very much for your interest in the implementation of the plan. We know it's a really tough time for us because we run against the time and to coordinate different sections to create the synergy to implement and carry out the mission. And we also have a lot of difficulties in front of us, especially the Omicron variant is also revisiting and also causing a lot of infections in Beijing, Shanghai, Xi'an, because a lot of these places we have the relevant agencies stationed there. In order to make sure that we hit the deadline of the plan and also to protect our staff's safety, we try our best to mitigate the impact caused by COVID-19. And first, we build up the COVID-19 precaution measures. All different agencies and systems fully implement the decision made by the CVC Central Committee, State Council, and local authorities, and we always follow the most stringent measures. For all the astronauts in March, they're already in the closed loop management style. And second, we hope that we can buy more time, so we accelerate our speed of work. We always prepare for the worst scenario, so we have the pre-study of the possible situation of COVID-19, and we race against the time to make sure that we could buy more time as possible. And third, we keep optimizing our working plan, and we use the intelligence and informative measures to conduct our work and make sure there's no big gathering. And for the key posts, in terms of a working space and operation space, they also in the closed loop management and make sure that all the work can be carried out. And in addition, we also establish the ad hoc party committee, and we also leverage the role of the party committee at the grassroots. So they also played as the leading role to cooperate and also to drive the progress of the work. Looking back of the whole preparation process, we can see that all involved systems make their unremitting efforts to carry out the mission. And for some teams, they just stayed in this place for a couple months, and they just put aside their small families for the bigger families' interest. During the whole process, the Central Committee, the State Council, and also the localities give us great support. On behalf of the mission headquarters, we would like to say a big thank you to all the public and also for all people involved in the systems. Going forward, we'll be leveled our head to keep up our work to make sure that the
construction
of China's space station can be constructed as the plan, and also to welcome the upcoming 20th National Congress. And this is the end of today's press conference. Thank you, Mr. Lin Xiqiang. With the following work of the Tiangong space station, and we will release the relevant information on our official website. Thank you very much for your great care and support to the endeavor of China's space station work, and I wish the mission full success. Thank you.